Hey everyone, it is Joy Packard. It's a Sunday. We just got back from Mexico yesterday and we flew out of Houston, hobby. And so we are in our Houston home. And guess what today is? Today is the last day that we are staying in this home. We sold our Houston home. And so I am packing up. We didn't have very much stuff here, but we just had, a few things that we were Airbnb-ing, but I had to finish going around the house and telling my husband everything that needs to be packed up. And there wasn't very much stuff, like I say, because we live in San Antonio. And so we had a quick buyer that basically bought it as is and is buying all the furniture that's in the house. So I think it's meant to be. And so as we finish putting everything away, honey, is this like this is our last day in our house? What do you think?
Bittersweet.
It is bittersweet. I look around, and do you see a lot of the memories that are around here, like with the kids? Like
one of them went just right there.
We have been living here since 2014, and this has been a house where some of our kids got engaged. Some of our kids had their wedding receptions here. We would go out to this lovely pool.
I remember in that jacuzzi tub. I don't like that profile in the face here.
You remember
in that jacuzzi tub right there, they squirted dishwasher suds in the jacuzzi tub. It was bubbling, and the whole thing just grew into a big mushroom of bubbles, and they were all playing in those suds.
Yeah.
10 people in that little...
So when we bought this home in 2014, there was an older couple that lived here, and there was just a lot of things to be done. And so we fixed everything, and it's just been the most amazing 7 years here. And we actually tried to sell it a couple of years ago, and then my husband was still working here, and we still were coming back and forth, and then we almost moved back here, and then out of the blue, we had a buyer, and it's like I say, it was a blessing, because it's like, take it as is. We don't have to do any upgrades, don't have to fix anything. And they buy all the furniture, and it was an answer to prayers, because we know we're supposed to be in San Antonio. Our children, most of our children are in San Antonio. We're already in San Antonio. And it's almost like I've been crying all morning, because it's just so sad. I see all my kids here making cookies, and, it's just like we just had so many amazing memories here. But, I was thinking about how sometimes in our life, and that's where the lesson comes, that we have things that happen and we know we're supposed to move on, or we know we're not supposed to hold on to something, but we keep on holding on to it, and then we know we're not supposed to. And so I've already told my husband that I feel like I'm done here. Like, I feel like, my work and my chapter of life here.
And then she cried, literally. She wept.
I was like so sad.
She wept for 30 seconds and then was done with it.
Teresa says, leaving a home where you put in so much sweat equity is the hardest. On to the next adventures. That's so true, Teresa, because we literally, when we had hurricanes here, the master toilet would start raising up, and we fixed that. We fixed everything. And like I say, we have had Christmas concerts here. We have had birthday parties of 100 people here with blown up slides. And, this is an acre and a half of land. And I've always said I wanted to live, country in the city. And this actually was that. And many of you guys know, and it's just kind of windy and cold outside, but many of you guys know that I just adore this pool out here. This has been my most favorite thing ever, because you guys know how I love Mexico. And this reminds me of that. And it was just so serene. It just was such a good house for me, and I'm about to walk out the door and not ever come back, and it's sad. And so I'm kind of lingering, and I'm waiting. I'm about to head back to San Antonio. But have you ever had? I love having my husband on these videos. Have you ever had a time in your life, very short, where you knew you're supposed to move on, and you kept holding on, and then finally, when you released it, you knew that I'm putting him on the spot. He didn't know I was going to ask him this. You knew that you had to move on, but you kept holding on to something that stopped you from following that alignment.
No, that's never happened.
Okay, he's never, whatever.
Of course, maybe.
Yeah. So
It happened.
It happens. And so, you know, we are supposed to be where we're supposed to be. And we're going to be working a lot near the San Antonio, Texas temple. And I know, Teresa, you're so right. That's what my kids keep telling me today. They go, Mom, we're going to buy a new house and we'll create more memories. You're going to, and actually my husband said, honey, we're going to move to Mexico in 3 months, for 3 months, because our youngest of 8 kids is graduating at the end of May. And like, we're going to be empty nesters. It's so weird. I just got back from Mexico and it was wonderful. And so we have a lot of opportunities now. And like, I have been holding on to this house, holding on to it, thinking, oh, we're going to move back, you know, or, you know, we're supposed to be here. And every time I come, like, even though I love it so much, I'm like, I feel a pull, you know, I feel something else that's pulling me in a different direction. And so I'm giving in. And, you know, we said goodbye once before, maybe a couple of years ago, but now it's really permanent because we do have a buyer now. Last time we were just putting it on the market and then we took it off the market. But now it's like, you know, we're on the house hunt in San Antonio, and I know something will happen things are going to happen the way they're supposed to happen. And I told all my kids today, and some of them were sad, but a lot of them are like, okay, on to new memories. And my husband was so sweet because I was getting overwhelmed today, and he took me through each room and said, just tell me what needs to go and I'll bring it later. So now I feel better.
She's always
Right.
good at just dishing out the orders. I carry them out.
He's a good, what is the word? He's a good servant. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's a good husband. Many of you guys know that. Anyway, so yeah, I was actually talking to another friend who basically, you know, they have this amazing Amazon Shopify business, and they told me that they're going to just close up shop and do something else. And I asked them, you know, I'm like, why are you doing that? And they said, you know, it just doesn't feel in my alignment. And I thought, you know, when I heard that, like, I've been thinking about a lot of different things and stuff, and it's so true. Like, you know, you have to kind of go with what is feeling for you the right direction. And, you know, many of you have been asking that, like, even with Amazon, I'm semi-retiring because of him. He told me to stop working so much.
Just, she needs to work when she wants to.
Right.
And what she wants to.
Right.
Hey, can I add one thing? When we're going through the garage, we saw things that were very valuable, such as a carpet cleaning device that cost thousands of dollars that we've never used for years, but it's worth a lot, just not to us. And we said, do we bring it or do we let it stay here? Do we bring it? Do we let it stay? Or do we leave it behind? Do we bring it with us? Do we leave it behind? Think about what I'm saying. Because there's a lot of baggage in our lives that every day you choose, do I bring it or do I leave it behind? Mm-hmm. And we went through that, and it was paradoxically liberating to let that expensive, worthless stuff. What a juxtaposition to say expensive, worthless in the same breath. But it is expensive, but it is to us worthless. And how liberating it is to let baggage behind and just say, let it go.
That's right. See, I don't even, I should bring him on my podcast, right, guys? Hi, Gab. What's happening is I'm about to leave this house that we've lived in for the last 7 or 8 years, and somebody bought our house in Houston, and so we're for good in San Antonio, and it's just so sad, and we're talking about all the memories and the weddings and the wedding receptions and all the things. So this is live. Yeah, it's live. I'm about to head out back to San Antonio. I just got back from Mexico, had a wonderful time with my best friend for the last week, and came home to this paradise that I love so, so much. And I was just talking about how sometimes we have to give up things, even though it's hard, and we have to follow our alignment, follow the direction that we're being called to do. And that's what we're feeling. You know, we're feeling a pull. Things are happening in such a way that we know that this is right. And even though, like, you know, there's many things in our life that are hard to do and hard to follow, but we have to do it, even though it's hard. And so as you guys can see, I'm just lingering in this house because my husband's already packed everything up and he knows that I'm having a hard time leaving, but I'm going to do it. I know that like, I'm supposed to just like emotionally say, okay, you know, this is it. I'm done. Let it go. Right. And so letting it go, just like that movie in Frozen or whatever. But there's just many things that maybe you hold on to that you know that you're supposed to move on. Right. And I mean, even like I was thinking about business, you know, like I do Amazon. I've been doing Amazon since 2013 or so. And I was thinking to myself, like, I still do Amazon, but like it's starting to feel like I need to branch out. And I've been doing Shopify. I want to do my retreats and everything. But I was thinking to myself, you know, but I've been doing this for so long. And sometimes when we've been doing something for so long, we feel like we're supposed to be doing this or supposed to be like, you know, living here or just holding on to it just because change is hard and moving forward in different directions and following, you know, what we feel we're supposed to do. Because I know like my chapter is done here. And, you know, it's kind of sad because like I say, like I look at my kids and my youngest of 8 kids is graduating and I'm like, where did the time go? Right, honey? He's back there listening. But where did the time go? And now like we're going to be in grandbaby stage and we're going to be like, he wants to move to Mexico for the summer. And I'm starting to think, I don't mind it. I actually came back from Mexico and I told him when I was in Ross the other day, I started talking Spanish to everybody because I've been around it so much and that's something that I want to do. So we have many adventures that we want to do. He has a lot of awesome things.
We are going to practice our Spanish.
Don't you like having my husband randomly come into the video? And so we're just so excited for this new chapter. Are you going to be working in the San Antonio, Texas temple a lot, you think? I'm putting you in a spot.
I'm going to keep practicing my Spanish.
He speaks really good Spanish. Anyway.
No, yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope to just find out where I'm most needed and fill those gaps.
Those of you guys who know him know that he's a good man. In fact, I was talking to I think Dee Johnson. She does packing.
No, not good. Trying to be good.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So, no, Gab, I don't miss snow at all. I was born in Michigan and I don't like snow. And hi, Georgie, I haven't seen you in a while. And yes, you needed to hear that. Sometimes like, you guys know, like I'll say something like what I'm thinking and then hopefully it can help somebody because it has been a long, hard road to make the decision that we're making today. And once we made it, and it's because, you know, we've been saying, do we live in Houston? Because like we're about to be empty nesters. And so we're like, do we live in Mexico? Do we live in Houston? Do we live in San Antonio? And now it's like, Houston is like going to be out. Hi, Lena, how are you? And so it's almost kind of like, you know, when we have all these different choices and then suddenly one choice is not, hola, no habla español un poquito. Hey, I said that un poquito a lot when I was in Mexico. It was so funny. They're like, oh, do you speak Spanish? And they thought that I could and they just blah, 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 blah. And I didn't have my husband, but I'm learning a little bit, un poquito. And
yo la voy a enseñar en español. Yo la voy a enseñar.
I do know how to say mango tango bien bolido. I do know how to say that without alcohol, yeah. And so anyway, lastly, I'm just saying that, what was I saying, honey? You distracted me.
You were saying a non-alcoholic strawberry daiquiri mixed with mango. That's what you said.
Oh yeah, Jeff, yes, if we move to Mexico, can we still have your internet business? Absolutely. What's exciting about it is my husband works remotely. He could be on his phone, on computer, and I do everything there. And actually,
You won't even know we're in Mexico.
Yeah, like the resort that we're at, they actually, I think personally, increased the speed of the internet because it works great. And so you could, you know, do the drop shipping, do your Amazon business, whatever you're doing. You guys have been asking about buying and selling domains, talking about that. But my husband can work anywhere. That man, crazy man. So anyway, we are excited for the next chapter. I don't know exactly what that's going to be. So, and Jeff, yes, it's very cheap to live in Mexico. In fact, yesterday before we came home, my best friend was there. We went to go eat at this amazing place in Puerto Morelos. Usually we eat at the resort, but we were out and about, and we ate these tacos that were like the most amazing tacos I've ever had. And one plate that had 3 tacos or whatever was like $2.80. And it's not always that way. It just depends on where. Of course, the resorts are more or whatever. But anyway, back to the main point of moving forward, you know, and doing things. And I don't know what our next chapter will be, but I do know we will be empty nesters. Like our youngest is graduating May 31st, and that's the baby of 8. And I think we deserve to, you know, do whatever we want. Right?
That's a scary thought.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited about, you know, the opportunities that I know that it's almost like once you decide on something, it's like it's starting to feel better now. Now that my husband's packed up the van, I'm starting to kind of feel better. And thank you guys.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to gather our thoughts together for the next 3 months and figure out how to organize some give back thing
The
in
nonprofit
Guatemala or Mexico, or those that were born in circumstances with few resources and few ways out.
Yeah.
People that were born into prisons.
Yep.
And help liberate them. That's what
Well, one of the things
we're both about.
One of the things that we had talked about is like even serving a medical mission, because, you know, like he's a doctor and he can serve and I can sit on the beach. What do you think? Go to Mexico. But honestly, we've been wanting to set up a nonprofit for a while, and so
You didn't know this, but we just did it with the brothers.
he's been doing stuff when I've been in Mexico with my friend. So see, there you go. So anyway, yeah, they're like we were talking about when one opportunity closes, where are we guys? My husband was born in Washington actually, but then I was born in Michigan, Gab. But then I moved to Texas when I was 6 years old. And when did you move to Texas?
I don't remember. I was so young.
He was a baby, but he was born in Kennewick, Washington, and so
Never been back.
he's never been back. But he has a really big Texas hick accent, so I think he's just a Texan all around. Anyway, and so
Don't nobody get raised in Texas after so many years and not talk like your horse taught you how to talk.
anyway, I hope you guys are doing well today on this Sunday. I mean, Mexico weather last week was amazing. It was all in the 80s, and come back to Houston. It's so pretty. We love Texas, and we know we're supposed to be somewhere. We're thinking San Antonio. Most of our children are coming home from California. And how many kids live there now, honey? We have Janelle, Shireen, Gianna's coming, David, and then Austin's there. We have 5 kids out of the 8 right now in San Antonio. And so we said, we're going to go where the majority of our kids are. And we actually, he went to medical school in San Antonio. So it's almost like we're going home. It's almost like
I have 7 siblings.
Oh yeah. And he has 7 siblings there. He's the second of 13 kids, and 7 of his siblings live there. So, and my sister is married to his brother, who lives literally across the neighborhood, like right there. Walking distance. I walk the baby there when I have the grandbaby. And so Gab says she just got done snow blowing 15 inches of snow. Oh man, I know. Snow is not my favorite, but I do like to go skiing sometimes. We might go to Utah and visit our daughter some and go skiing, but I definitely like the beach a lot more. So hopefully, in your life, if you are, thinking about some changing, and we've talked about this before in some videos about pivoting when things get hard and stuff. And we have a big family. He's got the second of 13. I have an older brother, younger sister, but I do have the 8 kids and the 14 grandkids and another one on the way. So we'll have 15. So lots of family. We want to go where a lot of family are. Hi, Mary. How are you? And so anyway, we're excited to share with you what the next chapters are going to be in our life. I'm starting to slow down as far as my business. My husband told me to pick a few things of what I like and not do 15 things. Right, honey? And so, anyway, we're so excited, and we will let you know more about what happens, and we're excited to share our adventures with you. And is there anything else you want to say before we say goodbye to these lovely people?
Sometimes you have love in your heart, and you want to give it to the whole world, but you can't because there's so many. So just remember, it's okay. Just make sure you love the person right in front of you. And
That's me.
she's right in front of me now.
Anyway.
Just love the one next to you.
Yeah. And so he has made this whole morning so much better for me because I was getting overwhelmed, and he packed the whole van. So I guess it's time to go. And I don't know when I usually come to Houston because I have this house. So I don't know if I'll ever be back for a while unless I have to fly out of Houston Hobby or whatever. But our life now is mostly in San Antonio. And thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. This is my warm hoodie. It's kind of colder outside today. At least when you're used to the 80 degrees, it's like 59 today. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for all your thoughts, and thanks for letting us kind of like share our emotions with you and have him, my crazy husband. It's kind of fun to have him on, huh, guys? I should bring him on more often. Anyway, it's time to go, and I'm going forward, and I'm not looking back. And just like the other day when I was in Mexico and talking about taking the plunge and going all in, that's what we're doing. We sold the house, and we went through to decide what we're going to keep, and we're done. Are we done, honey?
We're done.
Are we done with Houston now? With this house anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday, and I hope that this has helped you in some way. Remember that we have our podcast that I'm so behind on. It's called Joy Reveals. It's on the iTunes app, and it's on the Stitcher app if you have an Android phone. But guess what we're going to do? We're going to get on Shopify and all the other platforms so that you can listen to it on whatever platform. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.